Hi everyone, and welcome back to Weekly Reviews. This week we have a very important video to review. As you know, I bought a Rolex Datejust 2 around 2 weeks ago. So a friend of mine, he saw the watch on my hand and he just loved it and he had to get himself one. So instead of actually going in to the boutique, or let's say a reliable source of Rolex authorized dealer, he did the mistake of buying it online. And I'm not saying that it's wrong to buy it online, but he went to the randomest place, and I'm sure you all know the site, and I just don't want to mention the name. So what he did, he bought it online, he received the watch, and he felt something was wrong with it because it just came without a Rolex box, without any kind of documents, and I'm talking about thousands of pounds that he paid, and he is actually going crazy. They've opened the case and it's an ongoing investigation because the seller just suddenly disappeared. And anyway, long story short, he was sold a fake Rolex Datejust 2. So he came to me, trying to just do something about it. So I thought, why not make a video and just show you guys the difference and how to spot a fake and how not to be cheated, basically. So I decided to do this video. Please take it as an educational video. Please benefit from it. Always remember, nothing is like the real deal. It might look the same, but there is so many ways to find out, and that's what we'll be discussing. If you guys haven't already noticed, the real one is on the right, so that's the real, 6,100 pounds. And that's the fake, and I'm not sure how much he paid, but it's well over £1,000, and trust me, it's probably not even worth $10. So anyway, first thing is first, if you look at on the real one and look at the way Rolex is printed in Oyster, Perpetual and Datejust, and look at the magnification on 13, and then when you compare it to the fake one, you can see the writing of it's kind of like blurry, and the font is just quite bad. And if you look at the dial, the color of the dial, you can see the blue azzurro on the real one is it's different. You can tell. If you put it under the sun, you'll be able to realize even more. Once again, look at the writing of Rolex and Oyster and the Datejust compared to that. So that's the first thing. Second thing is the magnification of the date. Rolex should give you 2.5 times. So if you look at it like that, you can see the 13 just below the lens. And when you look at it like that, you can see how many times it magnifies it. And you compare it to this, you can see the writing of 1. You can see the 1 does not fit. It's quite bigger than the actual thing. So compare it to that again. So the 1 fits perfectly there, but it doesn't there. To be honest, the sweep of the second hand, it could be looking amazing, but I'll show you what happens in a bit. So the bracelet, first of all, you can feel it. The moment you feel the watch, you can tell. Well, the real one has a 904L stainless steel. The one on the left has probably the cheapest steel on the market. So looks wise, you cannot even tell, but trust me, when you get a feel of it, you will know immediately. As you can see, the Rolex symbol here actually comes out for a couple of millimeters compared to this one, which is quite a smooth. So you can see the color of the dial now. You can tell the difference. One is lighter, one is dark. So next is, I'm going to actually weigh both watches just to get an idea of the weight of it. So we'll start with the real. So the real one first. try it again. So 146 grams for the real one. And now the replica. $140. Okay, that's quite the same, but still, you know, 6 grams would count. Don't forget, the materials inside, Rolex uses the top-end material, you know, all types of gems and all types of, you know, precious material, and trust me, just there's nothing like the real deal. So let's look at the back of the watch. So that's the real in my right hand, and that's the fake. I'm not sure if you can notice, but there's actually blurriness on the left on that one compared to the clarity on that. And then the Swiss made in Geneva, you can actually read it quite clearly on the real one, and then compare it to that. You can hardly read it, it's quite blurry. Another thing is the way the bracelet clips. So that's the real. Can you hear that? So you can actually feel it's like you have to force it. And the most important thing, and that's why these Rolex watches cost so much, is the actual movement. So the real one, you cannot even hear anything when it comes to the actual mechanism. But listen to the fake. Can you hear that? I'll do it again. So what's happening, they are using an automatic mechanism at the back, but you can actually feel it rotating, and it sounds like some kind of like a fan, you know. The real one has a white gold fluted bezel, which is that, and this is probably what, stainless steel or some kind of cheap material. So I hope, I don't know if, you know, you can tell, trust me, you know, because no one sells a Rolex without the documents, without the box, without some type of guarantee of, you know. So try not to be fooled, and look at the ads, you know, when it's being sold online. Just look at the ad, tell them to send you the document, ask them for the serial number, and check it with Rolex. You know, do your best to actually find out. Don't just go buy one like that, because there's lots of, you know, cheaters out there, and the last thing you want to put yourself into is such a position like my friend. One more thing, so that's the crown. They might look similar, but check this out. So on the real one, once you unscrew the crown, to change the date, or let's say the time, so that's 2 clicks, and then look, my rotation is clockwise. So what happens? It moves forward, doesn't it? But compare it to, look what happens on the fake one. So again, 2 clicks to the outside, and I'm moving again clockwise. It moves backwards. So to actually go, you know, to actually adjust the time forward, what happens? You have to go anti-clockwise. So that's another thing you can actually keep in mind. And then that's for the date, and you can see the dates. Look at the 5 not fitting in place. It's quite large. 17. Look at the 1, look at the 8. It looks kind of funny, you know. Look at the 20. It's actually at the 2 is right at the edge. the 22, and once again at the edges. We'll compare it to the real one. So that's the real. And one more thing is, I'll show you an interesting part. So let's say getting closer to midnight, and Rolex is known for its precision and changing, the date changing. It happens in a 1/10 of a second. So let's say, look at that. So I'm slowly approaching 12, and then suddenly, bang, 17. Exactly a dead spot on midnight. Let's compare it to the fake one. So let's see what happens when it comes to midnight. So you can actually you can see the 23 moving down, and that's at 11:40, so it's not happening instantly like the real one. Do you see that? So 10 minutes to 12 it changed to 24, and from 11:30 it started slowly changing. So it's like with other types of watches. That's another way you can tell. What else can I tell you? Just be careful. Remember, always ask for documents. And the best thing is, these watches are like an investment. So although you do spend lots of money on it, but they'll actually last you for what, 100 years probably, if you maintain it in a good condition. So you can actually give it to your children, and they can give it to their children, and it's like an investment. So you guys, hope you like this educational video, and I hope you benefit from it. And please give it a thumbs up and check my other video. You can check the real Datejust 2 video. I went into details with it, and it just burns me. It's not even, I wasn't the one who was cheated, but it still burns me because of what's out there, and just it's not fair for my friend and what's happening to him, and God knows if he'd get his money back. Let's just see. So give it a thumbs up if you like this video, and I'll see you next week for a new review on our channel. Thank you for watching.